road back was longer than the one that left. Alina kept her hands at 10 and 2 and counted the breath in her chest. 1, 2 and a half. Ahead, Ashwood House sat low against the horizon, rebuilt on its same old bones. The letter on the passenger seat smelled faintly of burnt honey. The handwriting was her mother's, neat as always. The line was short. "It's yours now. Don't let it forget you." The wind breathed across the hood as the car turned in. Gravel answered under the tires. The garden had grown wild into symmetry. The front door opened before she could lift a hand. Amber light pooled within, the kind that warmed the tongue. "Look at you," her mother said, gentle and delighted. "You took your time." Alina held her breath, then released it. "Hi, Mom." Her mother's hair was the same crown. The floral apron pressed and pressed again. The air tasted sweet at the back of the throat. "Dinner's ready, your favorite." I didn't tell you I was." "You always do," her mother murmured, overlapping softly. Somewhere behind them, a hallway clock ticked just behind true time. The house kept its own seconds, a fraction slow. Her mother set the table, porcelain and cutlery laid out with care. "Mark still helps with the gutters. Such a good boy. Do you remember Mark?" "I do," Alina said, relief thin in her voice. "We haven't, it's been. Time gets away. Eat, dear." The stew tasted of rosemary and days she couldn't name. The sweetness landed late, like sugar burned clean through. "Is this honey?" "It keeps," her mother said cheerfully. She poured tea. White crystals folded and darkened. When Alina lifted the spoon, Ash clung to the silver. "The tea is strong. People forget to breathe here," her mother said, closer now. "Sip, then breathe." The silence held. The tick of the clock fell a beat behind Alina's breath. Above the mantel, the family portrait had a stranger. Alina, painted older than she was when she left. The scar was right. The mouth was hers. The eyes watched back. "When did you change the picture?" "Oh, that old thing changes itself," her mother said fondly. At 3:15, she woke to water that wasn't there. The sound had pulled her from sleep, steady and deliberate. But when she stepped into the kitchen, the sink was dry. A single teacup sat on the counter, steaming as if it had just been poured. The window above it was fogged from the inside, the glass breathing in slow, visible pulses. A breath traced itself across the pane, and from the wrong side, a fingertip began to write. She read the letters as they formed. Stay. On the floor, ash prints led away from her bare feet, each one pressed deep into the grain, heading toward a door she didn't remember at the end of the hall. The door gave off a low hum she felt in her jaw, a vibration that seemed to settle into her bones. In the morning, 3 polite knocks came at the front. Mark's voice was the same shape it had been when they were 12, frayed at the edges. "Alina, thought I saw your car. How long are you?" "I don't know," she said, letting the breath out. "A few days." "Right, a few days." He stayed with his toes at the metal strip, not crossing. His skin had a tired pallor, as if the house kept a hand on his shoulder, even out here. "Come in," she offered. "Better not. The north room S well. If you need anything, I'll be around." The north room what? Sun hits it wrong. Gets warmer than it should. His eyes flicked past her to the end of the hall, to the humming door that hadn't been there yesterday. "Don't stay long," he said. "That's the plan. That's always the plan." His steps retreated over the gravel, and the house's breath changed when he was gone. She walked the rooms to prove they were still rooms. The office smelled of paper and iron filings. The guest room was colder in the center than at the walls. The north room was warm, not air warm, but body warm. The mirror over the dresser was fogged, and when she wiped it, it fogged faster. The desk drawer resisted, then gave way. Inside was a small glass vial. Amber clung to the inside and crept back when tipped, as if remembering where it belonged. A label read, "First layer, welcome." She set it down, the wood beneath it warmed. "Mom," she called. "Don't dawdle." Her mother's voice came from the hall, without footsteps. "Your tea is cooling." In the mirror, something almost chose to exist behind her. The choice passed. Later, in the back garden, Mark stood with his hands in his pockets. "You feel that? The draft, the counting." "Counting what?" "Debt, breath, doors used, keeps. It ticks different when you're here." Somewhere, a second tick began, and the two fell into sync with her inhale. "Stop it." "I'm trying." If you keep the turns right, the red turn, the service stairs, the north room, if you feed it in sips. It doesn't take. He stopped himself. "Feed it." "You found a vial. First layer, welcome. Do you want to tell me what that means? Or do we keep speaking in polite weather? Don't stay in the red turn when it's hungry. Promise me that. Tell me what it is." "Homes keep," he said softly. "That's what makes them homes." The kettle was almost at a boil. A low, restless sound beneath the steady rhythm of a blade on wood. Slice, slice, slice. "You look thin," her mother said. "I slept on the floor." Floors are honest. They tell you where the house is heaviest. There are places I don't put my feet anymore. What happens if I don't keep it? Her mother slid a cloudy jar toward her. "We tidy. We take out what we can. We put back what the bones ask for. The bones ask for people." A faint smile touched her mother's mouth, as if amused. "You say people, as if a river owes you your banks." "I'm leaving." The tick stopped. The kettle held its breath. Sound returned closer, as though the walls had leaned in. "Then a tithe will be taken in kind. Have you eaten?" This isn't a choice. Choices are for the door. Inside, there are only keepings. Keepings of what? Her mother's eyes lifted to a sag in the ceiling. Of who? Something inside the jar gave a tiny clink. The amber within shifted, a smear moving when Alina did. In the front hall, the lock clicked cleanly. She grasped the handle and hissed. The brass was blood warm, gripping back, as if another hand closed over hers from the other side. The floor tilted beneath her, or she tilted against the house. "Try the gate with me," Mark called from the porch. She opened the door, breathless. "How are you?" "Just now, come on." The iron gate resisted, then gave way with a groan. Air beyond it tasted thinner. They reached the car. The key turned, the engine caught. The road should have gone straight, then turned. Instead, it went straight and delivered them back to the gate. "No, keep going." Tires rolled, fog thickened. The odometer ticked, but the scenery refused to change. The house inhaled, and her lungs followed without permission. "I can't breathe. It doesn't like this." The engine coughed, died. Silence fell, broken only by the softest pop in their ears, like pressure sealing. When she blinked, she was in the front hall again. Her palm rested on the door. The handle's pattern was pressed into her skin, invisible but hers now. Mark stood 2 steps inside, gray around the mouth, eyes unfocused. "What did it do?" "Took a sip." "Of what?" "Us." The black, handleless door hummed, a low chord under the walls. "Follow me," her mother said, though her lips barely moved. No, she followed anyway. The black wood was warm under her hands. It flexed. It pulsed like a living thing. "Breathe in." She did. The air was sweet and hot ash stirred. Something slipped under her skin that was not pain. It was weight. A new habit. The ticks in the house found her breath and settled there, counting with her. "You can keep it. I'm leaving." Her mother's voice was tender. "You already tried." The house exhaled, satisfied. Time folded into chores. Alina avoided the red turn when the ticks were fast. The north room stayed warm. The desk drawer slid open for her now, without resistance. Second layer lessons. Third layer keeping. "You're learning the turns," her mother said, content. "I don't want them." Wanting is a door. Keeping is a home. The radiator hummed. A faint draft moved through the room. 4 quiet taps came from inside the wall. "Mark." Silence. Then his rhythm again, 4 taps behind the plaster, moving away, up, then down. "Where are you?" Here his voice came, dry as leaves. "Come out." "Out isn't out, not here." She pressed her ear to a vent. It was warm. For a moment, she felt 2 heartbeats hers, and another that sped, slowed, then faded. "Don't feed it yourself," Mark said. "It learns your taste." "I won't feed it at all. Then it will learn you." A laugh that wasn't happy and wasn't cruel scratched along the inside of the wall. It sounded like fatigue learning to smile. "I didn't die," Mark said. "Mark," she whispered, "houses don't kill you." The bulb above them flared. The red paint on the wall looked wet. "They keep you." The tick reset to 0 and began again, counting up with her breath. That night, 3 polite raps came at the iron gate. The house hummed, content and expectant. "Do you hear that?" her mother asked. "Yes." "Keepers keep." Alina opened the small speaking window. The metal bit cold into her knuckles, then warmed, as if in recognition. I got a letter, the voice at the gate said, uncertain. It said. She smiled, a shape that fit her mouth, but not her eyes. Come in. You must be tired. It's longer coming back than leaving. The gate opened with a slow scrape. A figure crossed the threshold. The house inhaled, deep and pleased. The north room stayed warm. The mirror kept its breath. Somewhere inside the walls, Mark tapped 4 soft beats, and the ticks counted up, patient as winter. Silence held. Then came the softest, satisfied sigh.